Hello and welcome back to the NastyMetalProductions channel here at YouTube, and welcome to a monthly, or at least long, or at least a bit of overdue, I shall say, overdue collection update, which is actually all CD collection update, and at least I have about 8 CDs here. All at least I had gotten or received within the past couple of months, whether it be at least late June to July, and of course here into August. So without further ado, let me get into it. So I'm gonna begin with at least some more newer releases, like whether it be new albums and maybe one new reissue from this year. But right now, the first one I'll be going to be showing here is the newest album from Styx, which is Crash of the Crown, which is, yeah, Crash of the Crown right here, which is their follow-up to 2017's The Mission. Be quite honest to tell you, I think I kind of like this one a little bit better than The Mission, even though I actually kind of liked The Mission when it came out. But this one does seem a lot more, I guess, slightly more inspired even more. There's a lot more rockers on here, more guitar playing, I guess. It's a little bit more, just a little, it definitely has more of a rock feel compared to The Mission, even though these are both concept albums. But this one apparently is a concept, I guess, about the environment of some sort. Interesting nonetheless, though I can't say it's as good as anything from the 70s, but it's still a pretty solid album in its own right, especially for modern day Styx. It's fine. Either way, I dig it. So there we go again. This was released this year. There we go. Definitely head into more heavier stuff here. Here we got, of course, is the newest album from Vulture, which is Dealing Death, which was a release back in June. I already done a review on this one anyways, but I gotta say it's a very solid album from these guys. Still very consistent overall with these guys from Germany. Definitely still in the sort of same vein as the last two albums. Again, or the EP, you know, the Guillotine and Gassy Waves and Battered Graves, still in that sort of same vein. It's still just great, solid speed metal released on Metal Blade Records. If I have to really be honest though, since giving it more spins since my review, I do kind of feel that I think I like the last album, Gassy Waves and Battered Graves, just a little bit better than this one. But this is still a very solid album nonetheless, and it's still very much going to be within probably my top 10 or even top 5 of this year. So Dealing Death from Vulture. Next up, to get even more heavier here, we got is the debut album from this Polish blackened death metal band Sarmit, which is titled RS28. I did a review on this one anyways, and I pretty much already explained how I got a hold of this. This, of course, was at least was sent to me from the members of the band to obviously review on the channel, and which I did. Again, very much a solid black and death metal album. I don't have to say anything more about it because I already did a review, which you can find here on the channel. So if you really want to at least hear my full thoughts on this album, you're gonna have to listen to my videos. So there we go. Just a solid death metal album that will also be within my favorite albums of the year. So that's it for at least newer albums. Now let's get to some, at least one new reissue from this year, and it is for Skull from Faithful Breath. Finally adding some of these guys' albums to my collection. This, of course, would be their final album before they changed their name to Risk. And from there on, they even split up eventually as Risk. But this was these guys obviously have been around at least the guitar player right here, who is obviously one of the founding members of Faithful Breath and Risk, had been going on since what, the mid-60s. Almost as old as at least than any of the guys in Scorpions. So that's how old obviously these guys were, or especially just him from Faithful Breath. But this is a 2021 reissue on the Brazilian label Classic Metal, which obviously mimics the same sort of reissue from this year that High Roller had put out, and it uses the same remastering from Patrick W. Angle. Does a great job with remastering this album. It sounds great. Just a very nice overall reissue with the slipcase, even poster inside of here. And I guess I can show really quickly the poster, but I don't want to go on too long. But bringing out nice glossy slipcase there. But here is, of course, the poster, which is, again, very similar to what High Roller put out, too. There you go. Glaring. Which is pretty much the whole entire album cover anyways, but it folded, and photo collage, and so on. Very nice reissue nonetheless. It is all nice. Again, good album nonetheless. Definitely just a more solid, traditional German metal. Just great stuff. And speaking of some more German metal, let's get into this right here. This is, of course, playing in the background. Finally, since I had purchased Metal Meat, the reissue on Stormspell, I had to, of course, get the other two, the last two, basically. So we got here is Mad Butcher with Eat the Rat, and this right here, which is for adults only, which these two, this one right here was actually the very first demo before which they used to shop around to labels until they, basically secured their basically label with a deal with the Earthshaker Records. This one was their final album, basically, which was which remained unreleased for years. So this was an unreleased album. Was supposed to be the follow-up to Metal Meat, before everything apparently broke down between one of the members in the band. There we go. I guess there's a little half-ass information backstory, but very raw, most hand, compared to at least like Metal Lightning Attack and Metal Meat. Those definitely were like at least were more professional recording, basically. These were definitely more demo. This is definitely rehearsal demo. The live stuff is very raw sounding, but you know what? For a collector like me, it has its sort of value to me, and of course it's Mad Butcher, and I'm usually collecting anything. Basically, I just want to round out their collection. This one right here, again, it's very rough. This had been what the source for the audio here basically was taken from a really bad cassette, obviously very damaged, sounds very damaged, and this was all that they can be able to at least to sacrifice, I guess, whatever they're able to salvage of this album, basically. So it is what it is. The actual demo stuff on here is at times better sounding than at least this. Still, this is a very solid album. If it had been released back in 1990, I think it would have been it would have been even at times better than Metal Meat. This was it really could have been a great album from these guys, but for what it is what it is. So I'm just going to leave it at that. Still very glad to have these two finally to round out the Mad Butcher collection. But again, these were reissues on Stormspell, which they do a fine job with doing their reissues. Alright, this was actually, next up was a birthday gift for me, actually. And I've been wanting to add these guys' albums to my collection. But this is a box set from last year. Again, those two were also from last year, but it is Death Angel, The Enigma Years, 1987 to 1990. And it's basically was released through, H&E Recordings. And it basically features pretty much their debut album, The Ultraviolence, to, of course, Frolic Through the Park, the live album, Fall from Grace, and the Rarities disc. Basically a repackaging of the, the Archives and Artifacts box set from a decade or 2 decades ago. Was it 2005? The only thing missing is the DVD, but everything is basically almost the same. Everything gotten right, though, with the bonus tracks, as there was like mispressing of that original box set, where the bonus tracks, I think, were like swapped around and some were deleted, basically. But this is basically just a fix of that. Great fucking set, though. Really happy. Albums, it's just all classic thrash metal stuff. Ultraviolence, I think I had once on a burned CDR years ago, and I played the shit out of that. So I'm just glad to finally add a real official copy to my collection. But all great stuff. Nothing bad here. So just finally glad to add some Death Angel to in the collection. Again, they are all basically mimicking, mini LP stuff. That's like a, oh, there. Let me kind of, a little bit. This out. I don't want to make making this too long by accident. Here you go. There you go. Glad to have that. Finally, to end this here, since to make this collection update video short, is of course, since I received this a couple of days ago, bought this off of eBay, but it's Tunes of War from Gravedigger, a band that has been lacking, obviously just missing within my collection too, so just missing, but browsing through eBay through at least the cheapie, just the cheapie section. I like to do the filter where you basically can just really mark down what kind of sucks you want to really just see, you know. Basically, I like to do anything under $5 and free shipping, whatnot. Apparently, this popped up within the fucking just the overall listing of that sort of overall filter on eBay. It just popped up, and it was for this cheap. It was being barely listed for $3.90 and with free shipping, so everything basically came out to what, $4.18, and for a copy of Tunes of War that apparently turned out to be the 1997 limited edition with the 3 bonus tracks, which are basically re-recordings of Heavy Metal Breakdown, Witch Hunter, and Headbanging Man. I couldn't go wrong because apparently everyone else wants either $24 or at times $15, depending on the shipping. This was actually it was shocking that this was being sold for this cheap. So I obviously went down and I couldn't pass it up, so I bought it. And surprisingly, it was in better shape than any other copies that apparently were being sold for way much more. But if it wasn't for the fucking USPS obviously doing their best they could to ding the fucking thing, because it didn't, apparently it wasn't packaged like that, even though they didn't package it very well. But still, everything's glossy, nothing, no wear, not a whole lot of wear and tear. So actually for $3.90 basically for what they're listing, this was a fucking steal. So, and of course a really good album. I really need to add some more of these guys' albums to my collection. I really do need to add some more Gravedigger. Really solid metal album from what, 1996? The third album since they have since Chris Boltondahl had reformed the band, basically. Of course, featuring Ululis on guitar, who had actually debuted on the Stronger Than Ever album, who then these days is a guitar player for Accept. So there we go. An event, very Accept sounding stuff too. Again, classic German metal band. So I'm just finally glad to add this. There we go. There it is. Hope I've enjoyed. If you have any thoughts on any of the albums that I showed in this video, you can leave them in the comment section below. So with that, I hope all of you enjoyed. This is Heavy Thrasher saying I'm out, and I'll see you later. Take care, everyone.